Hello and welcome to Jennifer Knatters, my knitting and nattering video podcast. I'm Jennifer and I'm gonna natter about some knittering. Okay, well I've already done this once before, so we're just gonna let that go. I'm gonna natter about some knitting and hopefully this doesn't get too loopy. It's already 11 o'clock at night. I really don't know where the day has gone. I've just been so tired all week. I haven't had a chance to do this podcast, so hopefully I will get through this before Catherine wakes up. I mean, in an ideal world, she won't wake up, but she has already woken up once tonight. So, hi! Today is the 6th of April. Happy April. And yeah, it's 11 o'clock at night. Let's boogie. I did get to sleep in today, so hopefully I won't be, I know last week by the end it wasn't even 11 o'clock by the end, and I was already getting a bit loopy. I really don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Hi! Let's get straight to it. I have one finished object this week. I'm really proud of myself, and it is my Bob Socks by Rachel Coopey, and this is a free pattern for DK weight sock yarn. This is the cool bit. I did shaped decreases on my toes, so I have a left foot and a right foot, because this is kind of how my feet are shaped. They curve on one side and not so much on the other. I mean, there's a little. So yeah, shaped. I've been wearing these non-stop since I finished them, and I even had the happy discovery that past me had woven in the ends, both of them, there's only two, on the first sock. So the second sock I wove in the ends, and then I was like, hey, I can actually put these on right away. I will admit sometimes I wear them for, well, I have socks I still haven't woven the end in that I finished a couple years ago, so weaving in ends is not always my strong suit in socks, but these have the ends woven in. I haven't trimmed them yet. I was like, oh, I'll weave them in and then I'll trim them after I block them. I have not blocked them yet. I wore them for 3 days straight. You can see the foot's looking a tiny bit felted. The heel still looks really nice. They're super comfortable and super warm, which is a thing I needed this week because it was sleeting. Thursday, yeah, it was raining and snowing. We had lots of hail on Tuesday. The ground was absolutely covered. It looked like it had snowed. There was so much hail out there. It rained so much we had a giant puddle in the back that the birds were using as a bird bath for a couple of hours after it stopped raining. So yeah, warm DK weight socks were just the thing. This is in Ripples Craft's Doubly Reliable sock yarn, which is her DK weight for socks. Socks are normally knit, kind of the standard knit is 4-ply. So it goes 4-ply sport weight DK. To be honest, I think this is really a sport weight rather than, what do I know? It's really tightly spun. So yeah, one sock, two socks. I'm very excited to have these. I'm very happy. I did one extra repeat of this double ribbing 2x2 rib that alternates for here. I have lots of left, so I could easily have done another repeat, and kind of my standard for how long the cuff needs to be, the leg and the cuff, is I like them to be about the same length as my toe, and as you can see, one more repeat would pretty much have gotten me to that point. So if I do them again, I will do one more repeat, and I would knit these again, and I would continue the patterning down the top of the sock, just because I think it looks a little weird. I'd also do a few more rows before splitting for the heel, although maybe doing the patterning down the foot would correct for that. I don't know. I feel the way it currently is, it kind of just slouches a little bit right at that spot, just where it changes from the rib to the stockinette. So, but I would knit them again. I would knit them again. I'd be very happy to. DK socks knit up very quickly. I did these in just over a month. I did not work on them terribly much. So yeah, very quick to finish. Everything is slightly pink tonight, so they're not quite as pink as they look. I've got some pinky purple stuff to show you later that looks a lot pinker than it is, and pink that looks very, very, very pink, and it's only mostly pink. Well, I mean, it is very pink, but nowhere near what it looks like on the screen. I did a little test to see what things were looking like. So that's my finished object for this week, and I have 2 new cast-ons. We'll start with, I finished a pair of socks. I cast on a pair of socks. Again, this is much more red. It is not a pinky red like this would have you think. It is just kind of a straight up Crayola kind of red. And these are socks for Catherine. I'm doing the same stitch count in the same brand of yarn. This is West Yorkshire Spinner Signature 4-ply sock yarn. Ta-da! And I believe this is cayenne pepper. I have cayenne pepper and cherry drop, so off the top of my head I couldn't tell you which is which. Just, it doesn't say on the label. And I believe this is cayenne pepper. So this is a red, and I'm just doing, again, a 2x2 rib. This is the same yarn, and that I've got a pair of socks that I knit for Kitten that Catherine currently wears, and they fit really well. The only difference is I'm using a 2.5 needle and I'm doing a rib, because those ones are really dense and hard wearing, which is something you completely want in a pair of socks that you're going to have last for a long time. Not so necessary in a pair of socks for a child who's going to outgrow them long before they wear through them. So I'm doing a slightly looser gauge, which will make them knit up just a little bit faster. These will be a little bigger, which is why the 2x2 rib will then make them fit a little better. And so I'm just going to knit a small pair of socks for Catherine, because Catherine does like her hand knit socks. And I'm doing red because red was her favorite color. Her favorite color is now yellow. I think red was her favorite color when it was the only color word she could really do. And now yellow is her favorite. She's got a pair of yellow welly boots that she never wants to take off. She got up this morning. I was actually able to fall back asleep. I realized later I fell back asleep before she even made it to Chris's room. Catherine and I sleep in one room and Chris sleeps in another room so that we don't keep him up all night, since he has to actually get up and go to work. So she got up and went, "Hi, Daddy," is what she says. She wakes up and she goes, when she's ready, she goes, "Hi, Daddy," which means she's going to go say hi to Daddy. But before she went to see him, she found her yellow welly boots and put them on. So she comes barging into his room. He's still asleep in bed. "Hi, Daddy. Hi, Daddy." He goes to lift her up into bed, and hey, look, she's wearing welly boots. So yeah, she loves her yellow welly boots. She really does. She gets lots of compliments on them every time we go out. Adults, other toddlers, not so much people in between, but adults and toddlers are always like, "Look at those yellow shoes." So she's yellow. Yeah, I should knit her yellow socks. I don't think I have plain yellow sock yarn though, because it's not really my color. So that's the first thing I cast on, and that's, I'm not using a pattern, I'm just using a stitch count. I'm going to do heel flaps. The other ones are afterthought heel, because they're one of the self-striping socks. So this one will just be basically the same construction as these ones, but I'm not going to bother with shaped toe decreases or anything like that. It'll be the heel flap and then the gusset decreases, unless it isn't. I'll decide when I get to the heel. So the next one I started, oh dear, I'm in the middle of a row here. That never makes it easy to show what I'm doing. The next one I have on is my the April project for Boost Your Knitting, another year of techniques from the Arnold Culliford's. And this is the Sterlyn shawl. So I will just pause for a moment and show you a picture of what it looked like when it's finished. So that is the Sterlyn shawl by Locatelli, and that is the April project for Boost Your Knitting. The technique for this month is fixing mistakes in lace. And I even, when the yarns were announced, which was before, there was a list of the projects and a list of the yarns, well, the first 3 months yarns, and a list of the designers, and I had commented that I hoped this yarn, the Fyberspates Scrumptious 4-ply stroke sport, it's really a sport, I've knit with it before, it's lovely, but it is, I will show you the one I still have caked up. So this is the yarn, which is the Fyberspates Scrumptious. It is 45% silk, 55% superwash merino. The silk is what gives it that gorgeous sheen. Look at that shine right there. But silk also is slippery, so if you drop your knitting, it unravels more. A stickier wool would, like, you can pull your needle out and the stitches just sit there. They don't go anywhere, so it's really easy to pick them up again. So when I saw one of the projects had 3 skeins, 3 different colors of the Fyberspates Scrumptious, this is ultramarine, and I've got teal, which is the one I'm using. Trying to figure out which side is the right side. I can't really tell. Anyway, at this point, it's 100% reversible. This is the teal, which is more green than it's looking on the camera. This is more blue than it's looking, the ultramarine teal. And I think this one's just called pink. It is not fluorescent pink. It is a very bright magenta. It's not this fluorescent. Anyway, the kit for the spring had last month's yarn, next month's yarn, and these 3 gorgeous colors. You could get one of 2 kits. There's the designer choice, which had the one in the picture, excuse me, or Jen's choice, which might as well be me, Jennifer. And it's got these 3 together. So I'm doing these 3, and I said, I hope that's not fixing mistakes in lace knitting, because you drop your stitches in a silk and it tends to unravel very quickly if you're not careful. This one's not too bad. It's not the worst for dropping stitches, but if you kind of, like, if you're not holding the stitch and you wiggle the yarn, it does unravel. But on the other hand, maybe that just means you'll have more chances to practice fixing mistakes having dropped some stitches. I've just about finished the body. I need to do 2 more rows of garter, and then I will be adding in my stripes. I'm doing pink is actually going to be the 3rd section of the shawl. So there was the garter stitch eyelet, and then there's a band of lace and another band of lace. This is going to be the 3rd one, but it starts with some stripes in the shawl. So it's going to be like this, I think. Ta-da! So yeah. I'm so tired. I'm having trouble being coherent. It does look a little better than it does on the camera right now. I'm already wider than I can spread out on my needles, but I can spread out kind of a section. It's not blocked. It doesn't feel as big as the pictured shawl, but that one's been stretched. So when I stretch this, I can see there's a lot more that's going to be going on. So I'm making good progress on this because I cast this on Monday. And yeah, considering this has not been a week for staying up late after Catherine goes to bed and knitting. I feel I'm making good progress. So I'm going to tuck that back in my bag. So I cast that on this week. Uh-oh, dropped a skeiny yarn. I'll pick that up in a minute. So that's the two I cast on this week. The other one I've worked on while waiting for that pattern to be released was my Customfit Alta that I said I cast on last week. And that was because I wanted a slightly bigger yarn on slightly bigger needles. This and the last project are both on my 3.5s, I believe. So that tends to be one of the most used. The 3.0, 3.5, 3.25, 3.75, slightly less so, are my most used needles. And this is my cabled pullover where all the patterning, the back is plain, the front and the sleeves will have all the patterning. So on this I've done my waist decreases and I've just started increasing back out because the back will go a little bit, just a little bit. The back does not increase back out very much. The front will do so more so. So I had stitch markers to mark the decreases, but now I just have one to say, here's my first increase row. So yeah, I was working on this until the Nissolia, not the Nissolia, that's a different shawl I'm going to be talking about later, until the Sterlyn shawl was released, and then I've been working on that. And I'm sorry, I think I just kicked the table that the camera is on, so it shifted slightly. This is Jamie Possum. It's super soft. The pattern I'm doing is a Customfit recipe. The Alta pullover is by Amy Herzog, and she has a pattern generating program where you can put in your measurements and various pattern descriptions and your gauge swatch and get a custom pattern for your body, or the body of the person you want to knit for, because they now do men and children shapes as well. So you can get a custom generated pattern for your yarn, your swatch, how you're going to knit. And since the Alta is one of her other patterns, she created a list of this is what you enter into the Customfit to get the things you'll need, and then there's a separate, you know, like here's the pattern, you have to buy the pattern to get the cable pattern and charts and stuff like that, so you can knit it all together. So that's what I did, and hopefully it'll be too warm to wear it by the time I finish it, although it's not a big hurry one, it's one just to knit whenever I'm kind of in between other projects. I can work on that one because it isn't something I figure I'll I don't imagine I'll wear it over the summer. So I'll do it next autumn. Hopefully that'd be a good time to finish it. So acquisitions. I actually have acquisitions this week. You may recall that I often wear this. This used to be my back of the sofa shawl. And this is the Nissolia shawl, which is wonderful and gorgeous. And I knit it in the Cochrane yarn by Ripples Crafts, Helen, which is soft, but still like toothy is kind of the wrong word. It has that rustic feel, but it is super soft. It is just an absolutely gorgeous yarn that I love. And this is, I can't remember if it was bramble picking or berry picking. And again, it's slightly more purple. It's just coming out a bit pink. And then this gray is, it's Moonlit something. And it's a gray with just the slightest hint of purple in it. This shawl is just a weird, if it was a little longer, I could kind of wrap it around myself a couple times and tie it. It's not quite, it's too big to kind of wear comfortably. It is the kind of thing you could keep on the back of the sofa and wrap around you just when you're sat there and you're cold. That is a waste of this gorgeous yarn. I mean, I like the pattern, I do, but it is just so gorgeous, the yarn, that I really wanted to knit. I really wanted a sweater's worth to knit more. And so when Helen came back from Edinburgh Yarn Festival, she relisted the Cochrane she had left. So I finally ordered some. Oh, that was the skein I dropped. Haha, just kidding. And she'd put 3 skeins of the purple up. This is 2 skeins of the purple and 1 skein of the silver. And I have a little purple left and a little silver left. So I ordered 3 more skeins, and she emailed me and she's like, I listed them all on the site together, but it's 2 different batches. They're very different in color. Do you want me to dye you more? Do you want me to send you one and maybe the others? Or, you know, what do you want to do? And I said, well, the 2 I have were different dye batches as well. I'm sorry, I'm just going to need to cough for a minute. I'm just going to pause. Sorry about that. And now I'm all red and flushed too, which looks worse because the camera is flashing everything pink. Anyway, Helen emailed me and said, what do you want to do? Do you want to wait? Do you want to, because she's going to be in or near Inverness a couple times, end of April and end of May. The end of April, she's doing a pop-up shop at the White Stuff in the Inverness shopping centre. And end of May, she'll be at the Dingwall Auction Mart, the Highland Wool Festival in the Dingwall Auction Mart. I am just... Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, she asked me what I wanted to do, and I said that the 2 purples in this were actually from different dye batches because I had run out. So I had to order more. I knew I was going to run out. I was knitting, I'm looking at it, I'm like, So I ordered more, and they are a really good match. I'm just trying to see really quick which end is, this is the end I finished on. Catherine spilled some candy on it, so it's, that's what she spilled candy on it, and I didn't notice. And it's about here is where because I knit the body in 1 skein, and then I used another skein to knit this lace edging because I figured that'd be the least noticeable. But then I was running out of the second one, so I switched back to the first one, and I cannot see where it changes. I wove in the ends, but I didn't trim them, so I can find it on the back and I can look at it. And here's where I was kind of alternating the colors. There's no real sense that it changed. So Helen sent me the 3 skeins. I said, go ahead and send them. And because I don't know which ones would look more like it, which ones would look less like it. So she sent me the 3 skeins, and the one looks pretty much the same. And the other 2 are much darker. Again, this one's flashing a lot more pink. It's really just a dark light. It's not a more pink and a more blue like it looks on the camera. It's just darker. And my initial thought is it's fine either way, that I could do the slightly darker purple and just kind of make it a gradient, because the other 3 skeins are all different dye lots. They'll probably have some differences. Sorry, crinkling bag, just putting them back. But since I'm in no hurry to cast this on right away, since I've got the Alta going, and she is coming to Inverness in April, I think what I'll do is take them with me, and if she has 2 skeins, because I know she's planning on dyeing more of this color, if she has 2 skeins that look more like the ones I have, then I'll trade them in and get that. And if she doesn't, I won't. Or if she doesn't have any purple with her or whatever's going on, I'm fine either way. I am not bothered. I will make it work. But yeah, I can completely, the hem and the cuffs of the sleeves could be a darker color and just kind of, you know, start with 1 stripe and 1 stripe, you know, like 1 stripe and 5 stripes and then go until it's going the other way to have it just kind of blend. There are things you can do even beyond just alternating stripes. You can change the frequency of alternating and it would look wonderful. Haven't picked a pattern for that yet. I'm probably going to do basically the same thing I did with the Alta, which is knit my swatch, kind of figure out what kind of gauge I want to work at, enter it into Ravelry to see which patterns come up close to that gauge, decide if I want to pick one of those or just go straight for a custom or do a custom mashup where you use the elements of one and someone else has worked out your gauge and your shoulder shaping and everything for you. I really could not recommend Customfit enough. It costs more than most patterns, but you don't have to do any figuring out for yourself. You get something that's just going to work. And certainly, I mean, I've got this one I knit and it is enormous, which is fine because oversized jumpers are very much in right now. And it still has shaping and everything, so it's enormous, but it doesn't look overwhelming. But it did come out much bigger than I was trying for, and that has happened with a couple of my jumpers lately. The Fair Isle polo or vest that I knit, the all over stranded vest, is enormous. Even though I took out an entire repeat on the side, I should have taken out another. I think I just get things mixed up in my head when I'm doing it myself. I know I understand the concept of how to work out your own gauge and like decide what you're going to do, and then I just don't bother doing the steps slowly enough to get it right, which makes sense. I've got 2 small children. I don't have a lot of downtime where I can just sit and be like, ooh, la 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 la. My time when my kids have gone to bed is sleeping, really. Lately it's just been sleeping. Or knitting and watching something on, watching an hour of Netflix. I don't have a lot of time to be doing maths very carefully. So yeah, I have that yarn and I'm very excited because I love this yarn so much. I cannot tell you how much I love it. It's a custom spun blend and I don't remember what all is in it except the main thing is Scottish Beaumont, which is a merino based sheep that has been bred. Merino as a sheep are very delicate. They are found in warm places where there's lots of grass, and I mean they're not delicate, but they need very gentle conditions, very easy life really. Although I suppose if you suffered from flies laying their eggs in your bottom, you might feel differently about how gentle your conditions are. But Scotland is not hospitable for merino sheep. It is not a place they can live. So they crossed merino, I think with Shetland. It might have been blue-faced Leicester, but I think it was Shetland, and got a sheep where the wool is soft like merino, but the sheep themselves are a hardy breed. So they can live in the Scottish Highlands. So there are not a lot of these sheep. They only made 1 flock. I mean, a really big flock, but there aren't a lot of these sheep. There's not a lot of their wool. It's really soft and really nice. It is also, I believe, in one of the main parts of the brushwork that I like so much. The brushwork yarn from Blacker Yarns. So it is definitely a breed where if you say, hey, it is in this wool, I'll be like, I'll take some, please. Thank you. Yes, me. Yeah. So not a usual segment here, but hair and beauty. I've got something to say about my hair. And I think, fingers crossed, knock on wood, whatever it is, I think I figured out my low maintenance happy hair. And I was really trying to go curly girl, and I was trying all different things, and I was putting a lot of work in, and my hair looked good. But then, like, I saw a picture of myself from an open day at kitten school, and like my hair would look fine from the front, but then the pictures from the side and the back, and I was just like, oh god, what happened to my hair? Because when you have curly hair, you don't really want to comb it. You kind of just run your fingers through when it's wet and let it dry, and that's what it's going to look like. And I can't see the back of my head, so it was not looking the way I wanted to. So I'm like, I'm not doing curly girl anymore. I'm just going to do, you know, like treat my hair for being dry and go with it. And then my hair went poof. Like, it was like so poof. Not happy at all. So what's been working for me is I'm using my little solid soap bar from the Soap Dairy, and I've got the little packet. I got 2 bars. This one, the one I'm using, is marjoram, and it's for dry hair. And then this one, I'd asked if I could have a normal hair one. It's a little faded, but the Soap Dairy. And I got the intro kit, which included this fake soapstone dish for resting it on. I haven't even taken the sticker off the back. The Soap Dairy, and she makes these by hand. But I did peel the sticker off so that the water would drain. So I've been using that to wash my hair maybe twice a week. And then I've been using the Boucléme Curl Conditioner as my conditioner, not even washing it out all the way. And that is what has been giving me soft, shiny, mostly curls, but not trying to go for super crazy curls. And not dry, not terribly frizzy, just happy hair. So that's what's been working for me for a couple weeks now. I am looking to get rid of a bunch of other stuff. I do have something that I've put in the swim bag that is, it's a sulfate conditioner. No, it is a sulfate-free shampoo. Oh, I don't remember what it is. It's not quite curly girl is what it is. But that's my, for getting, you know, for adding moisture but still getting the chlorine, that's the word, out of my hair when I go swimming. But otherwise, soap bar and the Boucléme. So I had ordered a little travel kit that had ones that were recommended by someone whose hair from the description appeared to be similar to mine, and this is the one she liked. So this is just a little travel size. I'm almost out. It's, oh yeah, it's down to there, so I need to order more. But I will go ahead and get a big bottle of that, because yeah, my hair feels soft and nice and isn't terribly frizzy, and I've got a fair bit of curl. At this point, I mean, I've already laid down in bed with Catherine to get her to go to sleep, and it's been all day and my hair still looks reasonably nice. So yeah, I don't imagine anyone particularly cares. I know, hi Chrissy, I know you care, but I don't think that information will help anyone. But that's what I'm liking. That's what I've settled on for now. Again, touch wood that it continues. I probably shouldn't knock on the table that the camera's on. So I'm just gonna try to wrap this up really quick. Kitten is now on Easter holidays, which means because it's Easter holiday, none of the toddler classes are on either. Kitten's Girl Brigades is going to wind up. She's only got, after Easter holiday, she's only got 3 more weeks of that class. But she did ask to be signed up for Enjoyable again. If you've been watching from the beginning, you may remember she did Enjoyable for a month. She enjoyed Enjoyable, and then she just said no, she didn't want to go anymore. Like, she'd gone 1 week. I picked her up. Did you have fun? Yes, I had fun. That's wonderful. The next week it was time to go. I'm like, we need to hurry. We're going to go to Enjoyable. No, I don't want to go. I'm like, okay. The following week, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't like it. So we stopped going. She wants to go again. I think because her BFF is in the class, and I think her BFF has been going, no, come. Why don't you ever come anymore? You should come. So she went the end of term. They do a party where you can bring a friend. So she went as her BFF's friend, and she said she really liked it and she wants to do it again. So I signed her up, although that was a bit of a thing because I signed her up and I picked the wrong venue on mistake. Right time, right day, right age group. I just clicked the wrong venue. And then there was no way on the website to cancel or change. So I had to call the lady who owns, it's a franchise. I had to call the lady who owns the local franchise. I texted her and was like, please help me. And so she said she'd switch it around so Kitten will be in the correct class and not the one that we can't get to because it is a half-hour drive from here and we don't have a car. Yeah. So that's that. We're pretty much all over our colds, although I guess I still have a bit of a tickle, just a tiny bit, but we're all largely feeling better. The other news for Kitten is in swim lessons, there has been a huge improvement. I was actually able, I have to watch Catherine while Kitten is swimming, and Catherine usually, like, she'll play in the play area. There's some toys at the top of the stadium seats, and she'll play there for like 5 minutes, and then she wants to spend the rest of the half hour running up and down the hall and the ramps and anyway, running every which way. But she ran off and she didn't come back when I called her, so I carried her and I'm like, you're in timeout, you're being very naughty. She's so naughty. But after that she kind of stayed in the play area, which was nice because then I was able to actually watch Kitten swimming, and she has improved so much from the first couple of weeks. I had the video I took of her the first lesson, swimming in the deep end, and the instructor had a pole and she was holding onto the pole and kind of swimming with just the one arm. It's back crawl is what she's in. And she's not holding onto the pole anymore. She let go of the pole. She's not sinking under the water quite the way she was. I was honestly worried that she'd moved up too soon and she wasn't ready. After the third week, I went to the instructor. I'm like, is she doing all right? You'd tell me if she needed to go back to the other class, right? She's like, no, she's doing really well. She's doing great. The other problem is Kitten's in a class with 2 boys who are clearly much older and stronger swimmers. So I think the comparison was what was so worrying, but she's improved so much. She's really doing really well with swimming. She really likes it. So it was really good to see that she's coming on so well. Speaking of how naughty Catherine is, she is so naughty. Like, she's going to spend her whole life in timeout, is basically, and she's always so cute when she's naughty. She's like, hee hee. Although today there's been a couple times where she can open the doors, so I got new locks I put locks on Kitten and Chris's room so that she couldn't go in them because they're not toddler proofed. And Chris forgot to unlock his when he went in his room, so he broke the lock and it wasn't working. And then she figured out how to unlock the one on, not like the way you're supposed to do it. She found out just another way to get it to unlatch. And so it took me a couple times because I'm like, oh, when I put Kitten's laundry away, did I forget to latch it? So I knew I latched it that time, and then she was in her room again. I'm like, so I ordered new locks, different style locks, and so far they're keeping her out. But she's been getting into the utility room, which is where we have rat poison, among other things, weed killer, laundry tabs. So I need to get another set of the latches for that and lock her out of the utility room. We took the baby gate down because we hadn't been closing it, and she'd just been passing through the utility. There's a small hall, hallway is too big a word. It's, one door leads to the kitchen, one door leads to the utility room, one door leads to the cloakroom, which is a half bath, which is where the cat litter is. And then the other door leads to the conservatory here. So the hallway is just big enough to have the 4 doors and she'd just been passing through fine, no problem, wasn't interested in the cat litter, wasn't trying to open the door to the utility room, so we've been leaving it open, so I took it down, and now it's a couple months later and she's going into the utility room. Yeah, so I also found her playing in the ensuite, the master bathroom, and she was squeezing out my face wash into the toilet. I found that out later when I went to go pee the next time. I opened up and I'm like, what is all this? Oh no, that's my face wash. So I think I got the one I ordered for Chris and Kitten's doors came as a 2-pack. So my next 2-pack is going to be the utility room and the ensuite. And I do have pretty much everything pushed out of reach there, but because she now has her little potty, she's standing on that as a stool and she's getting things she's not supposed to be able to get. So she's so naughty. But she's so cute about it too. It's just like you're supposed to yell, but sometimes you laugh instead. And, well, not necessarily yell, but at least be like, that's not okay. That's very naughty. And she's like, oh. Didn't do any gardening this week. I was going to garden last Saturday, and then it turns out on Friday, one of Kitten's classmates' mom came up and she's like, by the way, are you coming to the party tomorrow? And I'm like, the what? Yes, we're coming. What time is it? And I'd said, Christina, I'm like, Christina, did you know it's so-and-so's birthday tomorrow? She's like, oh yeah, I knew. But then I was talking to one of the other moms and she's like, I found out about it yesterday. I had to run in town and get a present and da-da-da-da. I'm like, oh no, I didn't get a present. I'm buying a present tomorrow and I will bring it to school and I will give her a present then. The birthday mom was like, no, she doesn't need a present. I'm like, she's 6. Her brother's birthday was a couple weeks ago and we gave him a birthday present. So no, she needs a present. Like as an adult, you understand you don't need a present. 6-year-olds do not understand that your presence is the present. They don't. They just, maybe her kid does. But I prefer to err on the side of a present. The brother got a sweatshirt. The sister got a dress, largely based on what was in my price range. I've seen the brother wear the sweatshirt because he's in the nursery, so they don't have to wear uniforms. And so when I walk by, sorry about that. Anyway, I had seen the little boy wearing the sweatshirt we gave him. He's in nursery and they can wear their own clothes. So I got him a sweatshirt and I've seen him wear it a lot. It's a gray sweatshirt and then it has little dinosaur outlines in different colors. It's really cute. And then because in school, like 5 days a week, you wear your uniform, your options for giving the older kids clothes are a little more limited, but they're going to Spain over Easter holiday. Their family's Spanish. So I got a little dress, a little sundress that's gray with rainbow unicorns on it. And I happen to know she really likes unicorns. So yeah, hopefully she'll like it. Hopefully she can use it in Spain. Like Kitten right now, I was saying to my mom, she only has 2 pairs of trousers for non-school days. On school days, she wears a gray, it's called a pinafore dress here in the UK. In the US, it would be a jumper. She wears a gray jumper or stroke pinafore dress, white, usually long sleeve t-shirt because we're just coming out of winter, even thermal shirts, and then black leggings, and she's got gray, black, and white socks. She could wear any of those. That's what she wears pretty much every day. And since she outgrew all the stuff we had before she started school, I bought her one set. It was 2 trainer bottoms stroke sweatpants, where one is pink and the other is like jungle print all over. She's got 2 pairs of trousers for non-school days. Mom's like, well, can't she just wear her school trousers? I'm like, well, for one thing, leggings. So I don't like leggings as bottoms on children. I don't like small children in skin tight clothes. To be honest, I don't particularly like adults in skin tight clothes, but children, it's an adult making a decision for yourself is very different than making a decision for a child. I don't like children in skin tight clothes. So I would want her to wear something over the leggings. So we'd still have to get, she does have 2 skirts, but she doesn't really like wearing them. So she would need dresses or something, and her dresses from last summer largely don't fit. I did buy her one long sleeve dress that she can wear on weekends. She doesn't even really have a lot of shirts she's got short shirts, but I haven't gone through them particularly to see if they're still going to fit in the summer. She outgrew most of the clothes she wore last summer, and she doesn't need regular clothes enough to be worth having a large wardrobe. But she's got 2 weeks off now. So what is she going to wear? I might need to get her at least a 3rd pair of trousers. If they're not dirty, she can wear them a couple days in a row. Although she doesn't even pajamas. She's like, no, I wore it. It has to be. I can't wear it again. I'm like, it's clean. Daddy and I wear the same pajamas for several nights in a row. You can do it. You change your pants and you've got clean trousers as long as you don't fall in a puddle, which is what Catherine does. Catherine falls in puddles. Yeah, so I need to get more clothes, but I don't know. I don't want to buy a whole bunch of long trousers if it's going to be warm over the summer, so I don't know, but I'll probably buy her at least one more pair of trousers for this upcoming 2 weeks when she won't be wearing. I did tell her she's got one pair of jeggings, and I'm like, you should wear your jeggings because they've got a little more structure to them so they don't look as skin tight as just leggings do. And she likes them. She wears them as one of her school things. They're black jeggings, so she can wear them under her dress. And I figured the fabric's a little stronger so she won't rip the knees out quite so much. Because that's what happens to her leggings. Some of them she outgrew, most of them she ripped the knees out. Yeah. So that's pretty much that. Buying clothes for kids who are in school in a uniform all day is tricky because you're like, when will you wear this? How many outfits do you need for the days you're not in school? I mean, if Christina came home and got changed into regular clothes every day, then she would need more, but she doesn't. I'll even be like, hey, do you want to go put on something else? No, I'm just going to stay in my uniform. I'm like, okay then. For Miss, I hate my uniform and I never want to wear it. She doesn't take it off either. It was really cute when she was in nursery. She would go to nursery. She lived in her favorite pair of pajamas, and she would wear them. Then she'd get changed to go to school. When she came home, she would change back into her pajamas, and then she'd wear them all weekend. And they literally disintegrated. And I don't mean like the knees wore out. I mean pretty much everywhere the fabric just fell apart. It was... One day they were fine, and the next day you could see through them in many spots. There were big holes, and I'm like, oh, we're done with these then. Which then started the great quest for more floral pajamas that she could love. Anywho, I have talked myself out, and this is probably more than a half an hour. It's harder to say when I've been starting and stopping. It is, yeah, it's midnight, so I am not going to be putting this together tonight. So it'll probably be tomorrow afternoon before I get this. Not that anyone, I think, watches it right away when I put it up. But yeah, the earliest you'll be seeing this is April 7th, which I suppose it technically is in 2 minutes. And yeah. So I'm still trying to figure out the light situation. I know I have lights in the garage and I just have to find them. I think this is better. I put a table out in the middle of the room and I put my pad on the table rather than on the side. And I think that's made it better so it's not quite as pixelated in the dark. But let me know. I will continue to try to investigate my lighting options, including possibly getting a light. And yeah, I will maybe talk to you this week. I don't know. The kids are on holiday, which always makes it a bit trickier, but if they continue to go to bed at a normal time, I should be able to do one in the evening. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I hope this was somewhat sensible, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.